Hello and welcome to another session of Karen's Colours. I'm Dr. Karen and these are my colour conversations. It's that time again where we need to look at another colour reading for prediction purposes. Again, we're looking at birthdays, and if you're new here, then hopefully you'll come across something that you haven't seen before. Predictions using colour are quite different to those using tarot cards or the I Ching, for example. If you're a regular viewer, of course, then you know exactly what to expect. And I hope that this month, this upcoming month of July, will be a lot better for you than June was. Certainly, I hope it will be for me, because I do the things that I ask of you. I choose my colours and I incorporate them into my life as much as I possibly can. This month, I've chosen another Oracle card set. This one is called the Telepathy Oracle cards. Now, there's no information on them whatsoever as to where they came from, but I rather like them because of the messages that they give us. As usual, I've pre-shuffled the colour cards. Well, you could actually say I've pre-randomized them because I'm not much of a shuffler. And if you want to see that randomization process, there is a video called Shuffling for the Non-Shuffler that's in the playlist that you'll find this particular video under as well. This is a colour reading for people born in the month of March to look at how July 2025 will pan out for them. Let's begin with an oracle card. An oracle card for people born in March for their colour reading for July. And we'll pop that under there to look at the end of the reading. And now I want some colour cards. Some colour cards for people born in March to establish how their July 2025 will pan out. The energy that you come into the month of July is green on yellow. The energy throughout the month of July, the greater part of it, is purple on blue. And the energy with which you leave July is yellow on red. And the underlying energy is grey on grey. Now, there are two colours in this reading that are repeated. The first of them is yellow, which comes in as the motivator for the incoming energy and then as the action for the outgoing energy. But more important is the underlying energy, which is grey on grey. When we have the same colour, top and bottom, in any of these circles, it acts as a warning. The warning is that there is a stability, a stagnation, a rigidity associated with what it is that is motivated and what it is that you can do about that motivation. And in this case, grey on grey throughout has to do with needing to overcome and at the same time deal with a great deal of confusion, of lack of clarity, and be able to begin to see things from a different perspective. It requires you to look at both the black and the white of a particular issue. Now, you don't have any black or white in any of the rest of the reading, but nevertheless, grey as an amalgam of black and white encompasses both those colours within itself. So we have total blitz, which comes from white, and total closing off, which comes from black. And those two colours are inherent within this grey. So you're dealing with both the closure and the opening up of various aspects of your life. And that's the underlying energy that permeates throughout the entire month. So what happens? Well, the energy that you're bringing into the month is green on yellow. Yellow in the internal world as the motivator is always needing to get rid of some form of fear or some form of distress that has been caused because of some issue that you have now experienced and you are remembering and you did not particularly like it. And as a result of that, you are in the real world needing to find or actively looking for some alternative way of being. It's looking for new opportunities, for new green pastures, for being able to get away from the things that have created this distress that comes internally as a result of remembered experiences that were not particularly pleasant. The grey impinging upon these means that those unpleasant experiences that you are remembering are not able to be easily overcome, because when we darken down a colour by adding grey to it, we're actually limiting the ability to do things with that energy. So you might remember it, but you might also be remembering it slightly incorrectly. Maybe your memory of the experiences are worse than the actual experience was. So you're mixing up memory with emotional memory, intellectual memory with emotions. And in doing that, you're creating for yourself fears that maybe don't really exist in the real world. Similarly, when we have green as the ability to take off and head in different directions and darken it down with grey as well, we end up with restrictions. Yes, you can move on, but there are limits to where you can move to, how you can move, and how frequently or rapidly you will get to where you want to go. The green and yellow is usually associated with the tarot card known as the Chariot, which is generally moving in different directions. And that really is very much exemplified here by this addition of grey to the green and yellow in this combination. As we head into the middle of the month, we now have purple on blue. Now, blue as the internal driver is always about seeking of stability. You want things to settle down. You've done whatever it is that you needed to do in order to maintain duty and stability within life, but now there is organisation that has to be done, and whether or not you are responsible for doing the organising or whether you only feel responsible for it, it doesn't matter. In the real world, what is happening instead is a great deal of change is taking place, and that change is threatening your feelings of order and stability, and so it becomes a very uncomfortable experience. When we add purple and blue together, we end up with a very, very dark blue or dark purple, whichever you prefer, and those are both associated with black. They're very close to it. Add to that grey, which also darkens these colours down even further, and we have here a situation of withdrawal and almost bordering on depression, because you can't get away from the things that you are trying to stabilise. You can't get away from the drama of having to deal with constant change, and that causes a great deal of internal coldness. It's not as though you're becoming distressed by this so much as you get to the stage where you don't care. You can't do anything about it, so you're not going to engage. Blue and grey together become dark blue, which is the ultimate in rigidity. I am not going to do any more. I'm not going to make these changes. I'm not going to do this. So there's a whole lot of I won't, I won't, I won't. Purple and grey also darkens down the purple, and this is more of creating changes within your head. You're changing your mind about things. One minute you want to do this, the next minute you want to do something else. There's this constant turmoil that's occurring as a result of you not being able to stabilise your thinking patterns. By the end of the month, we've now brightened up a bit, but brightened up in such a way as to create not just a happiness in the real world, but also a sense of frustration internally. Blue and red, while not exactly opposites on the colour wheel, certainly have opposing forces. The blue seeks stability, the red seeks excitement. And red internally is always about jumping out of your skin. You've got energy to spare. You want to do things. You want things that have to be accomplished. There are opportunities that you have jumped at and now you want to make the most of them. In the real world, however, you are still learning through experience. Back here, those learned experiences have caused a great deal of distress because you have learned to become afraid of some of them. Here, the experiences that you are learning are all about creating new memories, new learnings, new opportunities for enlarging your mental repertoire. Together, yellow and red form orange, so it's a form of courage. You've separated the two colours out, so it's not exactly being able to deal with drama and crisis, but it's thinking before you act. At the same time, knowing that action needs to take place, and in the real world, making a determination, deciding on what it is that you want to do. Add grey to these, and the grey and red again darkens down the red, and so the energy is more repressed, more suppressed rather than repressed, I guess, in that you know that you've got the energy to do something, you know you've got the drive, you know you've got the passion, but you're not sure how to use it. Grey and yellow, on the other hand, also reduce or darken down the yellow, reduce its effectiveness for learning, and you're stuck in a situation where you are relearning stuff rather than learning new things. So this whole idea of being able to think before you act now becomes one of, okay, I remember that last time I did this, such and such happened, and I don't want that to happen again. But at the same time, I'm not sure how to stop it. So let's have a look at what colours are missing. There's no black. There is no white. And this despite the fact that both black and white are inherent within the grey. You have red, you have yellow, you have green, you have blue. There's no brown. You have no orange, even though it is hidden in this combination here. You have grey, you have purple, there's no pink, and there is no cyan. So these 6 colours are the ones that you are currently using throughout the month of July to accomplish whatever it is that you are faced with. These 6 colours, on the other hand, the black, white, brown, orange, pink, and cyan, are the colours of the skills that you are not using for whatever reason, whether that be you can't use them, or you don't know how, or you don't want to, it doesn't matter. These are missing from the reading. Black is all about being able to withdraw and to stabilise things both mentally and physically by not engaging. White is all about being able to get out there and experience things for the sake of experience, to deal with anything that comes along, to be curious about things. Brown is about being able to set and aim for goals and ambitions and pretty much any sort of practical skill that is necessary to enable you to achieve a particular outcome. Orange, while hidden in this combination here, is all about being able to survive a crisis. Pink is about being able to love, but also to accept assistance from others when it is necessary. And cyan is all about being able to attain not just the sort of stability that you want here in this blue, but the sort of stability that comes from everything in its place, everything comfortable, and I couldn't be happier than I am right now. So again, look at those 6 colours and determine which of them is the most appealing and then which is the least appealing. And as a result of putting those two colours into your repertoire throughout the month, you'll find that you will move past this insecurity, this confusion, this lack of clarity, this need to look at things differently, and head off into an area where the yellow and red create for you the sort of thinking and active person that enables you to move into August feeling really happy with results of what you've done throughout the month. Let's now have a look at the oracle card to see what it has to say. And what we have is feelings. Take the time to explore the deep emotions you are experiencing. Overcome fears. Overcome stagnation. Overcome frustration. Overcome confusion. Take the time to explore the deep emotions you are experiencing. Good advice, I think. So, lots to think about this month, don't you agree? I hope that the colours that you choose will be of benefit to you, and hopefully the colours that have been chosen for you will help to clarify some of the experiences that you will be undergoing in the month of July. Until we meet for the next colour reading, may the colours that you choose guide you and help you along the way. Until next time, bye.